Hey ADB Machine followers, so I promised a weekly update, and sorry, but that didn't come to fruition. But I have been busy lately, and I wanted to show you one of the things that I've managed to accomplish in the build. Got the downpipe and the wastegate set up, all finished up. I had to add in this flex joint so that this would have some movement and help me get this aligned correctly to the wastegate. Got the O2 bung welded in, and you'll notice that it's down here a ways, not right next to where the turbo comes out, and I did that based upon what LM2 recommends. They're saying about 24 inches from the outlet of the turbo, so that's roughly where that's at. It's also at a slight incline. That is roughly where it will lay, and it's about 15 degrees off center line. That is also based upon LM2's recommendation, so that the heat soak doesn't kill the sensor, and it's not on horizontal, so that there's not a moisture problem. So they recommend that right there. So that's why that's that way. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. My welder's been welding really weird, and I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if I've got a bad batch of wire or what the deal is, so my welds are a little clunky, but for the most part it's together and shouldn't leak, except for that spot right there that I found, a little spot that I missed. There's that. What else? Oh, when I took the O2 sensor out of my old manifold, it decided to take some of the threads with it, so I had to chuck it up in my lathe and whittle off a little section of it that was all galled up and it wouldn't start and everything else. So fixed that, verified they would fit in there, so that's good. What else? I've been busy whittling on the valve cover. I welded in where the brackets used to be for the wiring harness, and then I welded in a -8 bung. I still got to finish smoothing this all out, and then I'm going to have a hose that's probably going to go forward and across to the other side. I'm going to build a capture tank, and then been working out the distances that where we're going to put the coil-on plug, bolt that all in. Gee, what else? These are the adapters that came with these Bosch injectors. This is the EV14 or EV6 or US car plug. I didn't like the adapter because it's just kind of like a adapt from the US car to the old EV1, you know, the old school Bosch plug, which is what's on the harness right now, but I'd much rather, I'm going to be redoing the whole harness anyway, so I ordered some fittings from Mauser, and that'll be here shortly. Get those squared away. What else? Extra bits and pieces in the pile. So I broke down and bought a Mega Squirt stimulator, a gym stim. This will emulate the 36-1 tone wheel, and it'll do some other stuff for me. I figured I'm doing a bunch of changes to the ECU. This is a Mega Squirt 3 with a 3X with extra and then a 3.0 board, but it was just simple fuel, no ignition, and there's some other things that were added onto it, so I got to go through and remodify this board. But yeah, figured it would be a really good idea before I bolted everything in there that I just bench test it all first. Yeah, so I got the Mega Squirt stimulator. What else? So this is where I'm a little bit stuck right now. These are the BIP, basically the coil drivers, and since it's how do we say this? It's a 6-cylinder, and I'm running coil on plug, and the Ford 4.6 liter style coil on plug. These are basically high current coils, meaning you can't put a logic like a 0 to 5 volt to trigger them, because that's just not the way they are. They require something like this to handle the current. So this BIP 373, which is basically in the Megasquirt world, this is the coil driver itself, and the Megasquirt doesn't natively have, it doesn't have enough of these internally. So originally I bought 3 of these, and then I did a little bit of reading, and they're saying you can't run more than 1 coil off of one of these, so you have to have a driver per coil, which then drives me down the other question of, can I do wasted spark with 6 coil drivers? I don't know yet. Still trying to figure that out. Which is also kind of driving me down the road of possibly going back to some form of a driven trigger off of here to get phasing. The Megasquirt has the capability of taking a second tack input to give it phasing. Then what that does is gives me the ability to have mapping for the coils, separate ignition maps for the coils, and then semi-sequential, because it's a limitation of the Megasquirt. It'll be semi-sequential fuel injection, so it won't necessarily be full sequential, but it won't be just batch. So that's kind of where that's at. So what else? Just got a bunch of really cool product from TechLine Coatings. This is one of the other things that I'm going to be doing a full-on video on. All the different coatings and products, so it's like ceramic coatings and low friction coatings and a bunch of other stuff, assembly lube for the rings, and one of the things that I'm going to be doing is I need to make an oven so that I can cook all this stuff on, because a lot of this has to be baked onto the surface at 350 degrees for an hour. But that's a different subject. So, yeah, got that stuff in. What else? Oh, what do you think, Larry? Larry, what do you think? Yeah? We done with this video? Okay, we're done. Alright. Well, next time at Adventure Time, we'll have some more stuff for you guys to check out. Talk to you later.